Welcome to Indie Film Podcast. I'm Victoria.
And I am Chuck. It is the month of November. Holiday season is fast approaching. And you know what that means? We're all going to be eating slight variations of the same thing, usually involving turkey or ham or cranberries.
You know what else is kind of the same thing over and over and over and over again, just with slightly different packaging and maybe different spices?
Hallmark movies?
Hallmark movies.
Ah, yes. So before I give you all a Hallmark movie quiz,
and before we go into some actual takeaways that you can garner from these films,
let's talk Hallmark movie facts.
Okay, Chuck. In 2024, Hallmark produced 52 films.
Oh, that's it? That sounds weak.
That doesn't even account for like Netflix and Hulu and the other Hallmark style movies.
That's a good point. And did you know that the average production time is 2 to 3 weeks for a Hallmark feature film? So all of you out there, indie filmmakers, that takes you 30 plus days to do it. What are you doing wrong?
Okay, but all of these films have an average of a $1 to $2 million budget, which as an indie does sound like a lot of money. I get it. Mm-hmm. But collectively, they account for a $350 million ad revenue every year.
That is a lot of cash.
That is one hell of an ROI.
Yeah, and that doesn't even count like how much money they make from their cards. So the films, obviously, you know, it's raining cash from them creating the same thing every single year, multiple weeks throughout the year, usually during November and December. So it completely makes sense that they can make so much money from the same recipe.
Well, I personally think it's the suspiciously handsome carpenters and farmers that are making all the money.
Oh, well, I guess I didn't put them into the equation.
Well, I am literally the target demographic of the 25 to 40-year-old woman living in the United States.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad that you are enjoying your Hallmark films, clearly. Then.
I don't know if I said that.
Okay, well, I did watch one, all right?
Okay.
And so this is the quiz that I'm going to give you. I got to open it up here real quick. So what I did was I watched a film that was called Harvest Love. It was produced in 2017.
I'm already angry at it.
And I took notes on this movie, detailed notes about plot beats and things that happened in the story. And then I went to AI, and I asked it just to come up with some ideas for a Hallmark-style movie, starting with the title. And I want you to be able to choose which was an actual Hallmark movie trope or a Hallmark movie story beat, and what's AI. And also, what was the thing that Chuck came up with. So those are going to be your three choices. So, for example...
Am I allowed to pitch a new title for the film?
No. Oh. It's just Harvest Love. What do you think it should be called?
It should have been Love's Harvest. Are you kidding me?
They obviously workshopped the title. It's Hallmark. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, they have.
They showed
the market research budget.
They had like 200 people all look at the different ideas for the movie, and they came up with the most popular answer. So, what is the 2017 Hallmark film Harvest Love logline?
Okay.
Is it A doctor from Seattle returns to her family farm to reconnect with her son and finds more than she can imagine? Is it B, a big city executive is forced to return to her small-town family farm to oversee its annual harvest festival, where she quickly falls for the charming, down-to-earth farmer hired to help save the struggling season? Very similar. Or is it C, while lost in a corn maze, a young artist realizes she may have found her forever home, but harvest season is coming. Will she be able to stop the combine, or will the agricultural industrial complex destroy her newly found peace and murder the community of rodents reliant upon her sharing the tallest ears of corn?
Are we like attacking the rats of Nim in the third? The third one's yours.
Oh, okay. Well, good guess. Lucky guess. That could have been AI too.
Okay. I think A is the AI version, and I think B is the Hallmark version. Well, I want to think. Okay, well, my justification was you said to reconnect with her son, I think, at the first one.
Yeah.
Which implies that she has abandoned her son to go be a doctor in Seattle. And I don't think Hallmark would support that.
Oh no, that's what it was. That was the Seattle doctor was the one.
So she left her son on the family farm
No,
And
she
then-
didn't leave her son. Her son, I don't want to give too many of the story beats away because it might come up in later questions.
Okay, let's just move on to the next question.
But basically,
and then I can fight about my answer.
she needs to reconnect. That doesn't mean that her son is long lost. It just means that maybe she's not paying enough attention to him.
Oh, like now they're going to have one-on-one.
Yeah.
I definitely interpreted that as abandonment. You can unpack that however you need to. Okay, let's move on to the
That's
next
a much
question.
better movie. All right. What is the name of the town where Harvest Love takes place? Is it A, Pineview, B, Orchard Landing, or C, Dungville?
Okay, well, C is definitely yours.
Okay. Good guess again.
What was the first one? Pineville?
Pineview, or Orchard Landing?
I'm going to say Pineview is the actual place because
Nice.
Orchard Landing sounds not good.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, it's right. It's Pineview.
Okay.
Yeah,
Orchard Landing doesn't roll off the tongue as well as Pineview
Yeah.
does. And Pineview that sounds picturesque.
Yeah, it was AI was Orchard
Came
Landing.
up with Orchard. Well,
Yeah.
AI needs to. Orchard Landing doesn't.
I did try
If
to.
it was like Orchard Grove, which I see is very repetitive, I understand that. But then I might have fallen for that one.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Well, so just so you know, my first draft of the quiz was to have AI finish movie script lines from the film. But the thing is like the AI line by line dialogue writing just isn't quite there yet because it was throwing all sorts of wild stuff coming from left field into the dialogue. So
That is fair.
it's better at story beats, especially if it's a Hallmark movie. All right. What is the lesson learned in the film by protagonist Dr. Luna Gilson?
Okay, hold on. Is that just the given? Her name is Dr. Luna Gilson.
That is true. That is what I entered into AI.
Okay.
I entered these questions into AI. So, what is the lesson that she learns in the film Harvest Love?
Okay.
A, family and community matter more than her career. B, true fulfillment and happiness aren't found in a job title or a busy schedule, but in grounding herself in community, appreciating life's simpler, slower rhythms, and allowing herself to be truly vulnerable in love. Or is it C, hospitals are full of know-it-alls, but small towns have just as many but less educated?
Once again, I think C might be yours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm glad I can pick yours apart from the AI. Okay, so this one I'm kind of torn on. Okay. So where did the answer come from? Like when you were, is this like in the movie description on the IMDb
believe
page
it
or
was
something? Like, is this verbatim? They say this is what she's learning.
I'm pretty sure I pulled it from the IMDb page because it was
Okay.
really hard for me to succinctly figure this stuff out. And so the AI ones actually are very similar. So this is tricky.
Yeah, they say when it's a multiple choice quiz, you're supposed to go with the longest answer.
Okay.
But that feels so long.
Yeah, it does.
Like
feel long.
that's a lot. And Hallmark has to pay by the word, but ChatGPT doesn't. So screw it. I'm gonna go. We'll go with A is AI and B is Hallmark.
Nope, wrong.
Ah,
B was definitely AI.
should have gone with my gut. It
Okay.
was too long. Should have gone with my gut.
You ready
Damn
for the
it.
next question?
Yeah. Oh, there's more. Okay.
Yeah, we still got 3 left.
Oh no.
So we don't
Okay.
we
All
don't
right.
have to dwell
Yes.
on these too long.
Okay. Yeah, I don't need to beat myself up over this quiz.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's no prize. You're not going to win any money, but you might lose some money. No, I'm kidding.
It was like my dignity is on the line for sure, but other than that,
I think the point is that AI and Hallmark movies are very similar. So,
yeah, this is hard to tell apart.
so romantic interest Will Nash is the manager of Luna's family pear farm. He's hiding something in the greenhouse in the film. What is it?
Paw Farm.
Let me give you the options here. Good guess, though. That's not what I came up
That's
with.
a very different movie.
Yeah, that's not what I came up with. A, Will is researching a new breed of pear. B, Will is restoring the greenhouse to its original state to grow a rare vegetable her late grandmother loved. Or is it C, Will is developing a moss that more quickly decomposes animal remains. Luna finds a hand in a pile of dirt. She recognizes the ring on its finger. It belongs to her missing husband. Which one is he hiding?
Okay, one, please tell me the husband is actually missing and not just like gone. I want that to be a part of the movie.
Husband's dead.
Oh.
Yeah. But they
There's
don't
always
really,
a tragic spouse death. Okay.
but they don't actually talk. They don't address it.
No.
It's just like
no.
given.
Okay, so C is definitely you.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna say that the real answer is A, and the AI one is B.
Yes, correct. It is he's trying to make a new type of pear.
Yeah, because of course everyone loves GMOs.
It was quite the mystery when she was trying to get into that greenhouse. Great movie. Don't watch it.
I feel like that makes Love's Harvest make even more sense.
Oh, nice.
This was a miss, Hallmark. We need to have
Love's
words.
Harvest makes more sense that he would just be like taking decomposing bodies and then using it to harvest.
Okay, get to the next question.
All right. So, what's the name of the annual fall festival in Pineview? Is it A, the Harvest Festival, B, the Orchard Landing Harvest Moon Jubilee, or C, Doomsday Prep Fair?
Love Doomsday Prep Fair. Congratulations on you crafting that beautiful one. I already know it's not Orchard Landing, so it's definitely not B. That would be AI's version, and I agree that just the Harvest Festival makes the most sense for that very classic Hallmark trope. So I'm going to say A is the Hallmark one.
You got it. Nailing them now. Okay, Luna is pressured into entering the Harvest Festival pumpkin carving competition because her son Andy
This cannot be a real plot point.
This really happens in the movie. This is great. So she's pressured into entering the festival's pumpkin carving competition because her son Andy jokes she's a surgeon and she carves all day anyway.
Huh.
What is the outcome of the pumpkin carving contest? A, Luna wins. B, Luna and Will, initially carving separately, end up in a frantic last-minute partnership. Their combined effort, blending her precision with his farm-rooted design knowledge, wins the grand prize. Or C, unaccustomed to the dull carving instrument, Luna slips while working on her orange spherical canvas and manages to give herself a deep gash in her hand. Initially, she wraps the wound in a towel and tries to play it off, but the bleeding doesn't stop. Unwilling to allow herself to be embarrassed in front of her son and love interest, she signs up for the embroidery competition. In a display of sheer willpower, Luna fights to remain conscious as she closes the wound in her hand. The crowd gasps as she reveals she was not only giving herself sutures, but her palm is now beautifully embroidered with the words Pineview Harvest Festival 2015. Which one of those happened in the movie?
I'll be honest with you. I wanted it to be that she lost because based on where it's at in the typical flow of a Hallmark film, she should lose, right? Because she's got to have some stuff that she's trying to overcome. It almost feels too sappy, but I'm going to say B really happened. C was yours and A was AI.
No, she actually did. She embroidered her palm in the movie. No, I'm kidding. No, that was mine. No, Luna won.
She did win.
She just wins. It was really boring. It was anticlimactic scene. You know, some of them they gotta get to the minute marker.
Well, that had to be in the first half of the movie then.
No, it was in the back half.
Really? And she still just won.
Yeah, it was just over. It was really
usually
dumb.
by the second half, the leading lady, which is what 70% of all Hallmark movies, like she's struggle busing.
No, she was not. She was not struggle busing. This was not a lot of struggle busing. This was definitely they were just checking off plot points real quick. So, final question. Are you ready for it?
Oh, I thought we were done.
No, this is it.
Okay.
Will's new breed of pear wins the Harvest Festival fruit competition. Luna's parents decide to sell the family farm. Luna is offered a promotion to lead surgeon at her hospital in Seattle. So there's a lot going on here at the end of the film. Okay. So what is the resolution? So you have Will winning the Harvest Festival fruit competition. Luna, her parents are selling this farm, and then she gets offered job head surgeon. Okay. So A, Luna opens a practice in Pineview, and Will buys part of Luna's family farm with the money earned from investors interested in his new pair. The two kiss with expectations that they will begin life together. Is it B, everything stated above, except Luna started a private practice. She and Will join forces to farm together. So she's just joining the farm there. So no private practice, basically.
Oh, okay.
So I misstated that. Sorry. So either she has a private practice or they just farm together, or It turns out that Will's experimental pear carries a rare parasite capable of passing the blood-brain barrier. Several days after the harvest festival, anyone who ate the pear begins showing bizarre symptoms, such as hanging from tree branches and demanding to be removed by hand. Although innocuous at first, once off the tree and quote-unquote ripening, the infected individuals begin to produce cyanide in their body cavity, which is expelled with explosively lethal results. Anybody nearby risks infection. Will, feeling guilty about his careless genetic manipulation, attempts to remedy the situation himself. He successfully stops the spread of the parasite before reaching the nearby metropolis, but at the cost of his own life and nearly half of the town's. The film ends with Luna lamenting the loss of two lovers and a forgotten crate of pears labeled for shipment to Seattle.
Chuck, I gotta tell you, I'm pretty sure you spent more time on this quiz than anybody spent on this script.
Oh, well, thank you. So
I'm gonna guess C is probably still yours.
yes. So does Luna farm or does Luna open a surgeon or an practice in the town?
I'm gonna say she opens the private practice in the town, but Will buys in on the family farm.
Yep.
Yeah, because otherwise it's not quite empowering enough for her if she gives up her career entirely.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, so you got to toe that line for your female audience.
That is correct. All right. Well, I forgot to keep track of how many you got correct and how many you didn't, but basically I didn't change the order. So A was always the real movie, B was always AI, and then C was...
You figure I would have caught on to that pattern at some point.
No, that's okay. It's only 6 questions, so that makes sense. But...
I thought there was going to be some variety in the movie of where it was at. Oh, well.
I thought I came up with some good ideas. If Hallmark, if you ever want to kind of like change the demographic that you're selling movies to, then let me know. I'd be happy to write an alternative outline.
I do really like the case of pears, like that she forgot. She's just so mourning.
Well, see, there's Harvest Love too. The case of pears gets.
I think you should
town.
just make the movie and call it Love's Harvest.
Ooh,
and then we'll see what really goes down. Hallmark. This is a challenge.
Competing. This will be like
there. Many multi-million-dollar attorneys will come after you.
This will be
really
like those really crappy movies in the 90s and 2000s where they would just make fun of the other movie that exists, like the horror movies. Like they made it wasn't Scream, but it was like called something kind of like Scream, and they would just base it on the Scream.
Oh, like
movie.
the Not Another Scary Movie.
Yeah. There it is. Yeah. So yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Should we talk a little bit about the Hallmark movie formula that we found out?
Actually, because those are some fun stats. Because keep in mind, the only reason that we're really discussing Hallmark movies is not necessarily because either one of us is a huge fan.
Yeah, good point.
No shade. If that's your jam, just enjoy it. Don't let anybody throw shade at you for what you like. Just enjoy what you like.
Some people like mindless movies. Sometimes you got to turn something on and be able to be distracted and then get back to it. And if you missed 5 or 10 minutes, you can get right back into the story.
You still know exactly what's going on. And realistically, they make great drinking games. So, you've got options.
Yeah, good point. So we went through...
But we're because these do sell, and they do some things very well. The fact that they are creating these constantly and with a 2 to 3 week production time for, a relatively low budget for all things considered for what you'll typically see made out of a studio film. Like they do some things right, even if you don't love the movies. You can still find something good.
It feels
even if it's that you don't want to write these tropes, now you don't have to because Hallmark's doing it for you.
Yeah.
So that's a good reason to say thank you, Hallmark.
Well, it's got to be. I have never worked at Hallmark, but it has to be 100% business decision because they have X amount of money coming in from it consistently. They have probably done the math on how much money they need to spend every single year to produce new films so that they can continue to have people watch their stuff.
And keep that ROI up.
And Hallmark, it's got to be better than just paying for ads in some ways because when people think of warm, sappy crap, they think of Hallmark. And then that way they know when they're at the card aisle, if they have a family member that likes really sappy crap, they go to the Hallmark selection and they give them one of those cards and everybody's happy and they only spent $10 or whatever it costs for one of those.
Well, it's kind of the value of the ad spend as well, right? So when a Hallmark movie is being watched And depending on the slight variations in said Hallmark movie,
Yeah.
that will adjust your demographic. But they know exactly who is on the other side of that screen, which makes it really easy to find advertisers to fill that space because it's like, oh, are you selling jewelry? Are you selling a new face cream? Are you selling slippers that are customized to look exactly like your cat? Mm-hmm. Yes. You should advertise on Hallmark. So like the ad revenue, I see why it's $350 million. And if they made 52 movies, even at $2 million each, that's $104 million, I think. I'm bad at math.
You doubled it.
Sweet. I can do that. I mean, that's a $248 million profit. $248 million profit.
Every year from making a plethora of generic films about love. And we actually found an article really well written by Andrew Nordstrom, and he's at medium.com. So if any of you are really interested in doing a deep dive, this guy did some statistical analysis on these films. One of the numbers that he came up with that was wild was the just basic breakdown, right? So the formula that he came up with was strong female perspective. Female leads appear in 73.4 of productions. And he compared this to, like, it looks like there was a total of 350. The overall analysis was over like 400 and some Hallmark films. So he broke all these things down. So like almost 75% female lead.
Yep.
Small town magic. That's another important thing. That was Harvest Love, small town magic.
Quick question on Harvest Love. Okay. Mm-hmm. So it was a family farm in small town Washington?
Yes. And they grow pears.
Outside Seattle. And they grow pears and not apples.
Yeah, it's a special little farm.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming. Okay. All right. Anyway, small town is a big part of...
Yeah. So if they... Okay. A lot of times they don't specify the size of the town. That's 70% of the time. It's just like unspecified locations. So it makes sense because I watched another one. And it was, just... We're at the restaurant. We're at the whatever. Like the town isn't there. But if the town is featured, then that's 20%. So basically it's either small town or unnamed town and size. Okay. And then there's the genre blend. So romance forms the foundation of the films.
That tracks.
85.8%.
86% of Hallmark films are romance films. That tracks.
Yeah, and then they strategically blend them with drama, comedy, and family themes. So obviously, like
an abandoned child on your family farm.
Yes, you got to go find. Oh my God, he was out picking pears, and I forgot about him.
And moved to Seattle to become a doctor without him. I'm sorry, I don't know what I was thinking there.
No, that would have been a much better. No, it wouldn't have mattered. It still would have
it would have been bad.
It would have been pretty rough. It did make me laugh, though. I mean, that's one of those things. The Hallmark movies, they're laughable in the way that they're poorly written. It's almost like, CW's The Flash. I used to love watching that show because I would be rolling laughing at how unrealistic, and then the very sudden emotional shifts, like, they'll be in the same room and then they'll just cut from like a close up to a wide, and then the actor will be like forlorn after just having a very positive, and then they change the music like on cue, and it's just elevator music that's supposed to convey an emotion. It makes me laugh. Yeah.
The Z-A-K.
Yeah. Some good music. But anyway, so that's kind of the formula that the Medium article broke down.
And to be fair, there are some that are really tongue in cheek. They know exactly what they're doing. They know. Because was it Lacey Chabert?
Oh,
I don't know how to say her name. She was Gretchen in Mean Girls way back in the day.
She is one of the top performers on Hallmark movies.
She is. She's in a lot of them, which is delightful that they call her the Queen of Hallmark. And I'm like, no, that is Gretchen. That is, that's big hair and holds all the secrets of the whole school.
Yeah, but they use the same actors and actresses throughout the entire series of movies.
They do.
It's a lot of overlap.
But she was in one that Netflix made called Hot Frosty, I'm pretty sure is the title of it.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yes, and it's
actually PG rated. Hot Frosties, PG rated.
Yeah.
It's not some like sexual deviant thing.
Yeah, it
'Cause
definitely
if you
sounds
just
like
say
a
hot frosty. It could be taken a lot of ways.
that really could. Okay, no, it's not, and it's just a Hallmark movie, but it was made by Netflix.
You can Google it, and you don't have to worry about like putting it on incognito mode. Hot frosty.
But they had
What's
whole.
a hot frosty? What's 6'7"? What are all these things these kids are coming up with these days?
Don't Google things.
Yeah.
Don't Google things. Not
All
on
right,
your work
anyway,
computer. Anyway, they
a
had
hot
an
frosty.
entire scene where Lacey, man, I wish I knew how to pronounce her last name for sure.
I think we should speculate about it for
I'm
another
gonna
2 to
say-
3 minutes.
Okay, all right. So she walks into a room and she sees something with Lindsay Lohan, who is the lead of Mean Girls,
Nice.
and they make some kind of a joke like, "Oh yeah, no, that's just some girl I went to high school with," and it was a fun little nod.
a little meta moment.
Yeah, it was cute. It was for people that really liked Mean Girls. It was cute. It was fun. Anyway, okay.
Nice.
So some lessons from Hallmark.
Yes.
I think there are
What should we take away?
not acting for sure.
Don't try to act like you're in a Hallmark movie unless you're trying to be hilarious. There's a way to do it.
There's a way to make it work, but it's probably not for every film.
Not actual drama.
No, but some things that could be for every film would be like limiting your characters.
Yes.
You can have big scenes where you maybe have, an extra handful of people on set or whatever if you really need to, or you really need a day where you have a big crowd of something like that. That's totally fine. But let your story really revolve around a select few people, and that's going to keep the complexity of your shoot down. That's going to keep your budget down, and it's going to give you a lot more space in the edit to make meaningful connections for your audience with those fewer actors, as opposed to trying to build out this entire world of 30 people and hope everyone loves all of them.
Yeah, which we kind of talked a little bit about that last week, like paring things down.
Yeah.
But maybe even, and I don't know if we actually mentioned this specifically last week, but maybe just taking accounting of, I have this location, I have these actors, I have them for this amount of time, I can get this many shots down. Let's write a script around that.
I'd be really surprised if Hallmark movies didn't start that way.
Yeah,
like
true.
they get which actors and actresses can we get, what locations maybe
Which
can
is
we
probably why they
get?
film, I don't know if they film around Thanksgiving
Yeah.
time. It's just like, oh, Spirit Halloween's shut down. We can go into their warehouse now. We can film for like the next couple months.
It's ours. We need this. Yeah, it's perfect.
It goes from old Shopko to Spirit Halloween to Hallmark set. That's what these
Toys
buildings.
R Us. Toys R Us
Toys R
buildings
Us,
are in
yeah.
the rotation as well. Yeah.
It used to be Kmart, but
Oh yeah, once upon a time.
yeah.
Okay.
But I like that. Yeah, so keep lower character count. Yeah,
And
that
lower
helps.
set count, obviously. And then they have really consistent branding.
Yeah,
They know exactly who their target demographic is. They know who they want to be watching this movie,
Yeah.
and they know how to make something that really sells for it. And they set up all their branding for it really early. And yes, it's typically Hallmark movies. So guess what the color palette's going to be? A lot of red and green. Or a
Yes.
lot of fall autumnal colors. But
yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with keeping your color palette or your branding in general very simple. Give yourself one big fancy curly font and then one straight sans serif font, and then there you go. That's everything you need. That's all the fonts you need to deal with. Pick your 2 favorite colors and ask Canva to auto-generate some ones that look good with it. It's probably going to be black and white. Beautiful. That works great. Don't overcomplicate things. You're on an indie budget and you're trying to keep things tight and succinct. So just roll with it.
And moving forward with your indie film, if you have some of those ideas in place, what type of font you want to use, maybe your poster idea, trying to keep it simple, then creating other assets in the event that you do get into a larger film festival. And then all of a sudden you are responsible for having things like a press kit and different types of posters and different sizes of thumbnails. So you're not just rushing to get all this stuff done the weekend before the film festival requires it to be handed in, right? Not that I know of anyone who's ever done that before.
Absolutely not. I would never do that.
But having some of those ideas and having them creative, like, yes, is Hallmark branding lame? Absolutely, it's lame. It needs to be lame. It's just hitting on whatever heart chords.
There's going to be mistletoe, there's going to be a dog, there's going to be sweaters, and there's going to be red and green, and either silver or gold. They don't usually put them together.
It's formulaic, but that doesn't mean your movie's branding has to be formulaic. It can be unique. And I've been on a film, Stockton Table Rock, where we tried to do that, and then we made the handwriting the font. That was not the easiest way to do things, because then we realized we didn't create the font correctly because we didn't put all the special characters in the font that we made. And then
suddenly you need an apostrophe.
Yeah.
You can't get one.
Well, we don't have capital letters in lowercase. We didn't spend all this time trying to figure all this stuff out. And then all of a sudden our branding was thrown out the window. So it made it a lot more work to come up with other posters and other assets for the film. So keeping that in mind early on, I think that is good.
Hallmark knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then
what else you got?
They know exactly what the ROI is going to be. They have the market research that they've put in that time, which means that, and obviously it's Hallmark, so I don't think they're pitching to a lot of investors per se. But when their film department is pitching like, hey, we think we can accurately and effectively make 52 films this year, and this is exactly how much it's going to cost, they can pitch that to the rest of the executive team knowing hands down that they can show exactly how much money it's going to make. And if you put in the time to do your market research and can tell your investors how much money they expect to make, you're probably going to get more investors.
Yeah, you would hope so.
Yeah.
I do want to point out along the lines of the bulk movie production. So they did start out with 1 to 2 holiday movies annually.
Yeah.
In the 90s was where Hallmark started. And then they ended up at the 52 count. Although it might be 51. I have different notes here, so that's not good. But over 50. But
anything over 50 is that's a lot.
So their average review is a solid 6.4 out of 10 on IMDb, which is even crazier to think about. That if you just average all their movies, they're just sitting like right at D level of reviews. So they don't vary.
No.
Like none of them are killer. None of them are so horrible they get rid of their fans.
Flop, yeah.
They are a video content producing machine.
Yeah.
They know exactly where their lanes are, and they know if they uptick to a certain point, it's got to be worth it on the revenue on the back end having it for they have a Hallmark channel. You can get their own streaming service, and you get like a free greeting card every month or something stupid with it. Which
that's actually really cute because like Netflix doesn't send me cards.
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, for the same price as Netflix, I'm assuming. I don't know. It couldn't cost more than that.
Yeah, I guess so.
But you can only watch it 2 months out of the year too. But they
have those other horror stories of like women being kidnapped and tortured and stuff. They have plenty of those on there. The women will watch that for the rest of the year.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Or some dude going through a rough breakup. He might want to watch that too.
Yeah.
But so they obviously have the math figured out, and they have been kicking up production. So they must have, in the accounting department, have been seeing a kickback on, if we just do a couple more movies, because I don't imagine their budget varying too wildly.
No.
Well,
and some of the older ones, don't they just throw up for free on YouTube now on their YouTube channel?
That's Harvest Love is just on their YouTube channel,
which they're also getting ad revenue from. So it all adds in there.
Yeah. So that's there are lessons to be learned there. Is it gross and is it not artistic at all? Absolutely, that's how I feel about it. But is part of the creative aspect of is movie making, how much of it is creative and how much of it is business? And now that the studio systems aren't the barrier to being able to get your product seen or your film seen by people, how much of that do we all have to take onto ourselves and consider, rather than just hoping that somebody with a bunch of cash sees your movie or sees your script, likes you, is going to fund all this stuff? Because I don't know, if you all have a story about that, share it, but I don't hear it happening super often. Usually there's a lot of nepotism when it comes to money in film production, or you had connections that were there for a long time already, or you work your way up through the studio system.
Yeah.
So.
Which, to be fair, though, like, it's not as though there isn't any artistic side to, like, I don't know. I feel like on a Hallmark movie, it might not be the best acting that's going to change your life level performances. But they're also not like the worst actors I've ever seen in my life either. Like they're there, they're showing up every day, they're putting in the work, and they're building these at least somewhat believable characters, despite how unbelievably they might have been written.
Yeah. It's like the
And the set designers do a good job. And the costumes are usually fun.
it's like a mediocre band.
Yeah.
It's like
I'm not going to be upset that I watched
C-level
this. And I'm not
musicians.
going to say that they're not artists.
yeah.
Because they are.
It's the art there isn't quite as important. But that doesn't mean that if you have an artistic idea for an actual film, unfortunately, it's probably good that you take some of these Hallmark lessons and apply it to what you're doing. Hopefully not on too much on the front end. Like, think about things creatively. Don't come back and then, hack it up by trying to do some corporate bullcrap to your film that you
Don't add elevator music over the top.
Yeah. Be creative. Come up with a vibe, but at the same time, think about things like ROI. Think about things like how to do this inexpensively so that I can potentially make money back. That's what Hallmark does. They're cheap. The writing is super formulaic. You can't do that with your indie film because you're going to be fighting a corporate beast with Hallmark. So, that's out the window. So whatever your creative idea is to apply some of these tools, I don't see the harm in that. So we'll be working on that in the meantime in the upcoming year. Hopefully,
we will be.
I'm trying to front end some of this thing with some of the feature films that we have on the docket. So
we'll figure out time.
Yeah.
Time is probably limitless. We just haven't figured out how to do it yet.
Yeah.
It's probably fine.
Yeah, it'll happen, or it won't, and then we can just keep telling people how it didn't happen.
That also works. We'll just tell you how miserably we failed on scheduling.
And then you'll know what not to do.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, do you have anything else that you want to add about Hallmark movies? In that case, shall we succinctly say farewell?
I think so.
Goodbye.
Bye.